Well, hey, everybody, it's Tanner Mobihill over at Bayfield Home Loans, and I'm joined today by my real estate superstar friend and homeowner in Embrey Mill, Ann Marley Green. Ann, how are you today?
I am doing pretty good. As of recording, we're getting all four seasons in Virginia right now. It was 85 degrees yesterday and it's supposed to snow within the hour. So I got my Starbucks for the first time this month.
They're like hot or cold, and you're like hot, please.
Yes, yes, done with cold. No more snow. I can't. My daughter has a soccer game tonight. I know they're not going to cancel it. I don't want to sit out there. It's just
Right.
pick a season.
That's right. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do, we love to go over the stats for the neighborhood, and it's always so fascinating to me kind of see the growth, see what's going on in Embry. So let's take a look. First one we're going to pull up for everybody is kind of the overview of the general purchase market, if I have that correct. So the floor is yours. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, so the chart on the left-hand side is kind of everything that we're seeing in the neighborhood right now. So as expected, gearing up into our spring season, we have a ton of new listings coming
Yep.
up in the neighborhood. Four coming soon, 14 active. I am most excited just because I like things that are a little bit different. There are two of the 55 and older brand new condos being
What?
resold. Yeah, so they're the first resales of the condos, so not new
Okay.
construction, but basically new construction because they just finished a couple months ago. Those are actively on the market. And as you can see, trending into more under contract homes
Yeah.
and getting those sold numbers up for the season.
Well, I like how you have the breakdown of the townhouses versus single families too, to give people an idea of like what's selling in the neighborhood. Which I don't know what the breakdown is between townhouse numbers and single family numbers, but if you had to guess, or like, what does that look like? Is it 40% townhomes in the neighborhood and 60 single family? What do you think?
I think we're still mostly single family homes in the neighborhood, but once
Okay.
the condos get completed, if you were to lump like both sets of 55 and older, the townhouse and the condos and the regular townhouses, if you were to lump all those into an others category and then single family homes, I think it'd probably be pretty close to 50-50 when they're done.
Interesting. Okay. Makes sense. All right. And then the graph on the right. So let's talk about average days on market because, it was rough there for a while. I mean, that's the generous way to put it. But I feel like things are picking up a lot. So tell us about what's going on.
Yep. So definitely some outliers in this one affecting that days on market just a little bit because we are coming off of a slow season, around the holidays.
Yeah.
So some of the homes that are in that statistic were on for close to 100 days. They listed right at that low season for us. I would say most of the homes that are being listed right now are going under contract within the first 2 weeks.
I think too, Stafford in particular, because I help people all over the state, also North Carolina, Florida, Texas, and Washington, if you're out there watching and heading that way. But one of the things I've always felt about Stafford is like, if there's any snow, it's not just like, it snows and now we go back out looking at houses, because what typically happens is then the home gets delayed being put on the market, then it's coming the following Friday or whatever. And then that just it just really shuts things down, in my opinion and experience, for 2 to 3 weeks of just, not saying it completely stops. I'm saying that it really kind of like slows down though.
Yeah, and that ice storm in particular. I mean, I grew up in Virginia. We've been here in Stafford since 2017. Me and my husband, and I have seen nothing like what we got. I mean, it was 6 inches of solid ice. And did I go out and show houses in it? Yes, I did. Would I do it again? Probably not. I was pickaxing like footholes into my listings to go check on them. So, I
Wow.
mean, really, everyone should have been inside. So that definitely probably affected some of those numbers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we see there at the bottom we have, average single family right now, or for February, was selling at 782,000. The average townhome was going for 545. I mean, just kind of keeping up with the market, just incrementally still going in the right direction.
Yep, yeah, houses definitely staying kind of where we saw the end of last year. They were selling in the mid 500s. Single family homes last month they were definitely lower. They were under the
Yeah.
700,000 price mark. So we're seeing that kind of go back up towards our normal.
couple outliers will throw those things off. But we're going to talk about one in just a moment that's probably going to bump that number up quite a bit for folks. So bear with us just a moment. We're going to go to the next slide we got, though. We're going to talk about kind of the rental wrap up. So tell me a little bit about like what's going on in the rental market. And one thing, could you talk to a little bit about, like, let's say I was getting ready to list my home for rent in Embrey Mill, or I was considering renting in Embrey Mill. Can you talk about the not difficulty, but tell me about the process? Like, it's not as just as easy as be like, oh, they want 3,300. Okay, we'll take it.
Yeah, a rental market definitely runs a little bit different timeline than getting your home listed for sale. Still, it is good to touch base and get started on that process sooner rather than later, especially if you have current tenants in the property.
Yeah.
I always recommend listing a house after the current tenants have already moved out. We have systems in place to make that happen very, very quickly, so we get photos done, get it listed the next day. It can happen all very quickly.
Yep.
We can absolutely list a home with tenants in it, but it does create a bunch of extra hurdles just because your tenants are having to show the property. They have tenant rights that protect when that can happen. And we all have to understand, are getting absolutely nothing out of you listing your house for rent. They are having to do the showings, do all the inconvenient parts of it. But they are really not getting any benefit out of it. So sometimes it is a little bit hostile when we have current tenants in and just trying to make that work. So I always recommend getting it listed, once those tenants are out, but we can absolutely still schedule a time with them for me to come in and put eyes on the property and get that process started.
And it's important to understand, like, when your home is being shown by an agent or the people coming in to take a look, it's not like the tenants were walking around like, oh, we got to make sure that sock is picked up off the floor there. I mean, be lucky there's not a whole bunch of socks on the floor. So different experience.
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes you have tenants that do not want to leave for showings. And
Yeah.
that is very, I will just say
Awkward.
it's very awkward when you're taking people to tour properties, whether they're renters or buyers, and you have someone currently living there. It is just so awkward to walk around that house and have those people kind of just watching you do it.
Right.
So, I mean, we talk through all these scenarios every day. I'm happy to talk through it with anybody who is thinking about renting their house, on what your options are, but definitely a little bit smoother of a transaction if they can be out before that happens.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay, now we're gonna go into so I think you're gonna tell me. Let me get this up. Hold on, let's go. I gotta remove one of these. There we go, and add that one. Okay, so this property, 1.1 million, 14 Snowdrop Drive. What is going on with this one, Ann?
Yep. So this is our home of the month for Embrey Mill.
Nice.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It is the highest resale sales point that we have seen so far in Embrey Mill. It was just built 2 years ago, so it's like new construction, but you'll see when we're clicking through the photos, they have put a ton of work and updates into this house. The closest resale we have is one that sold in 2024 for $1,035,000. So this is a little bit higher than that. It is a little bit newer and has some extra pizzazz to it. Things I am most excited about that you can't really see in the pictures. They have a built-in speaker system, but it says they have a programmable lawnmower that comes with the property, which I just want to go and like watch it and see how that works because I am a Roomba queen. I love my robots. But that to me is like, I need to see the robot. I need to name the robot. And I think that's amazing.
Very nice. Yes. It's an impressive house for sure. It was kind of interesting in the kitchen, kind of almost like industrial colors. Like maybe that's kind of changing out as the more modern stuff that we see for the neighborhood. And like you said, this one being 2 years old, but as expected at 1.1 million, just absolutely gorgeous on this level and really nice touches. You tell us a little bit about kind of, this has been on the market a little bit, but with the market improving, what are your thoughts on kind of where this goes?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely high price, but I think you're getting a lot of value for this house. I think it's just one of those, once you reach the million price point, those homes tend to sit a little bit longer. Not everybody can afford that monthly mortgage payment. Not everybody wants to spend that much money. It is a big house, but your buyer pool is just a lot smaller. So I don't think it's anything to be said about, how the house shows or anything. I'm sure it shows as beautifully as it looks in the pictures. But I think it just takes a little bit longer in that price point.
You're definitely right about that. When you increase that price point, the amount of buyers that can then make this one is going to be pretty small, and then they're going to be picky too, right? So there's going to be other $1.1 million homes that this is being compared against, and that's always the harder part on the upper end stuff. So, but like you can see from the pictures, just a beautiful house, only 2 years old, well maintained, well taken care of. And it just looks great. So, oh wow, that's a really nice flourish right there. Okay, look at that map house.
I'm a big fan of wallpaper. All of a sudden, I'm too scared to do it in my own house because I'm just not. I'm not good with sticky things in general. But I love a good accent wallpaper wall.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, if it's pulled off the right way, then it really pops. And it kind of, boy, you got the light fixture up there really matches the wallpaper itself. So somebody's got some good taste. So I like it.
Yeah, no, it's a great house, and it's got the 3 outdoor living spaces out back with fireplace built into one of those decks, and I just think it's a very unique house. It's tree line views. I think somebody is going to really love it. It's going to be a good fit for them. Certainly, in that price point, you're going to have buyers that are looking for a smaller house on more land. So I think this one is just up to buyer preference on what they're prioritizing.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, let's see. How about some final thoughts? I mean, when we're filming this, it's March 12th. So both you and I, we were just commiserating that things are going awesome, and we're just gangbusters right now. What do you anticipate for the next couple months we got going on in Embry?
Yeah, no, I think it is going to be a wild selling season. I was telling you before we got on this video that I've worked every day for the past 3 weeks. So, I mean, buyers are out there. I'm having conversations with neighbors every single day about possibly listing their house or, what the best timeline is for them in terms of listing. So happy to have those conversations with anyone watching this video. I do, because I am desperate and losing sleep, have a shameless plug for anyone that is looking to rent their property under 3,800 in the neighborhood. I have renters looking. I have buyers looking too. So if you have any plans to do anything with your house, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are both generally very positive about the market. It's part of our job, but also we believe so strongly in real estate. But when we tell you folks, normally this is kind of how I feel in like May. I don't know about you, but like normally this is like a May feeling, right? Like, oh man, we're so busy, and it's March right now. So what's going to happen in May? It's going to be extra busy, in my opinion. But if you're out there and you're watching our videos, and right now you're sitting on an interest rate over 6% on a VA loan, and they need to reach out to me, because I tell you what, we're helping a lot of folks right now. So it's a good time if you're not gonna sell with Ann, or you're not getting ready to list, but you're gonna stay for a while. Now's your chance to refi.
Yeah, no, absolutely. People are doing it all the time right now. So definitely reach out and see what your options are.
That's right. Well, we'll see everybody next month with another beautiful home. Everybody out there, have a great day when you're watching this, and go buy a house or sell a house. We'll be back.
All right. Thank you.